to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was doing the press and all saying, well, why did you wait so long? It had nothing to do with me. You have to be invited, but anyway, finally I'm invited and I love it. I also love that I got lucky that it's actually in Cleveland. When I started playing, I was playing in skiffle bands, and sort of house party bands, and you know, we had a guitarist called Eddie Clayton. The first band I was in, it was really great. I had a snare drum, and Roy, the bass player, had a T-chest bass and a pole in it with a string. And we had, thanks to Lonnie Donegan, there's the hidden clue. Yeah, he brought skiffle to England. Lonnie Donegan! And so we were playing this sort of skiffle music, playing anywhere we could. And then, you know, I joined a couple of other bands. You know, I always wanted to play with great players, and I kept moving up a little, moving up to the next band. Of course, you know, I did end up with Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, who when I joined them, we were still a bit of a country folk band, and the guitarist in those days, this is a nice one for all you big shot guitarists with your big amps. We played the Cavern Club, which was a jazz club in Liverpool, and he brought a radio to plug into so we'd be electric. You know, and we got thrown off. Get out of here! That's not jazz. Anyway. We started off with a radio, the first amp we had. Anyway, things got going a lot better, and we ended up playing a lot in Liverpool and a lot around Liverpool. We never really made it anywhere else. But while that was going on, I was working in a factory. Hey! After the things I've sat through tonight. Some stories. I was working in a factory and playing at night, and every Sunday, you know, we lived in England, we only had the BBC, but out of madness, there was a small country in Europe called Luxembourg. Near Switzerland, near France, near all those countries. Very small, population about 6. And for some reason, they had the biggest radio mast, and they bought the Alan Freed rock and roll show. And for the first time I heard, well, I have to backtrack, you know, around about 55, Bill Haley was my hero. He was like the first rock. Elvis came in, he was like your dad. I mean, Bill was like your dad. But anyway, I'm listening to this guy on a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I hear Little Richard, first time ever. I hear Jerry Lee Lewis, who was here tonight, first time ever. I heard rock and roll music, because we weren't getting a lot of that stuff in England. And it came from this very small country. So 4 o'clock every Sunday, Roy and I would go to his house, we'd turn on the radio, and Alan Freed would introduce us to so many great tracks. You know, and the one incredible thing, because, you know, I was a teenager once, and he played Little Richard, and Little Richard said, "Shag on down to the Union Hall." It means nothing to you, to us. It's very meaningful. And we couldn't believe we could hear this guy, shag on down to the Union Hall. to go. And so that's, my rock and roll. And also I came from a poor, a lot of sailors came, to Liverpool, from Liverpool, would bring music from New York, from all over America. They'd drink all the money, they'd sell the records. So I hold it yours. Anyway, I started collecting a lot of records, listening to music. Anyway, ended up in this rock and roll band. And, with Rory and the Hurricanes, and we could go to Germany, and that's where I met, the Beatles, I met Paul. John, God bless you. George, God bless you. We got to know each other. We came back to Liverpool, and there was a knock on my door that the drummer wasn't well, and would I sit in? Sure. Anyway, I was living that life then. I was out the factory, and I didn't have to get up till noon. That was good. And so I went and played a lunchtime session with George, John, and Paul, and we had a great time. And then I went and showed them some clubs in England or in Liverpool they would not have known of. And I'm sort of part of their downfall. And we became friends, we hung out, and then I would go back to Roy and then come back and play with the Beatles. When the other drummer couldn't make it. And then I got a call, we were playing a holiday camp in England, 3-month gig, couldn't believe how great that was. Like $24 a week. And I got a call from Brian Epstein, and he said, well, that's it for Brian. And I got a call to say, would I join the group? This was Wednesday, would I join the Beatles? And I said, well, when do you want to join? And he said, tonight. I said, no, I can't do that. I've got a band here, we're working, we've got a job. I'll come Saturday. Because everybody in Liverpool were all playing the same song, so they picked up a drum and he could play. And that's when this journey started. It's been an incredible journey for me, with these three guys who wrote these songs. We were talking just the other night. Paul had come in and strummed some songs, and that's the first we'd heard of it, we played. And we would get it done in a really good shape. In an hour and a half, it would be the record. We didn't spend a lot of time. And there was a lot of joy. And he was talking about, the Beatles, they were so big and so famous, but they shared rooms. Every hotel, when we got in hotels, when he's talking about it, we were in guest houses. But when we got to hotels, we always had 2 rooms. And it didn't matter who was with you. We were pals, we hung out. But I'm telling any band in the room, you really need to get to know your other players. And another tip I've got for all bands who are starting out, when you're in the band, was another tip. If you fart, own up. Because it will cause hell. Because it'll be like, if you don't own up, everyone's blaming everyone else. So we made a pact in the band. Okay, if we fart, we'll say it. And that's what we did, and that's how we get on so well. I want to tell you, it's been a beautiful night, and you're hanging out with a lot of musicians. You don't usually do that. I'm going to do a few numbers for you next. I'm going to tell you, probably John Lennon and Stevie Wonder have got Anyway, I'm going to start with a number I've done since 1960. I did this number. It was a woman song by the Shirelles, and it just took my fancy. And it's called Boys.